Hello and welcome to Model Kit Stuff. So this is part 2 of our look at the ICM acrylic paint system. So in the first part we had a look at the 80 colour set and what you get in there and how it's presented, so on and so forth. And I thought the next logical one to do would be to look at thinning the paint. If you're like me, you've probably already got a number of different thinners to hand anyway, and I've really struggled to find the ICM thinners in the UK. So they claim it can be thinned with water, so that's one of the thinners that we'll be trying, but we're going to try 6 different thinners that are going to be commonly held by modelers, and we're going to try some water as well. So what we're going to do is just try and keep it as controlled as possible and do the same thing with all of them and see how the paint reacts to the various thinners. So the paint we're going to be using is 1037 dark grey, and the only reason I'm using it is I have 2. I've doubled up with buying a paint set previously as well. As you can see, it's totally unopened, it's sealed, never been opened before, so we're going to be experiencing these paints together. So what are the thinner systems we're going to be using? So the thinners we're going to be using are going to be water, ultimate thinner, which is my go-to if I don't have an acrylic thinner for the paint system, MIG acrylic thinner, Tamiya acrylic thinner, Life Colour acrylic thinner, and Humbrol acrylic thinner. And of course we're going to use Vallejo thinner as well. Start by understanding the consistency. Now on the 80 set box it does say that the paint is ready for brush painting, so I'm expecting some paint that's not too thick. Now I haven't shaken this up, I just wanted to have a look. Okay, I think that already I'm going to say that's too thick for brush painting, but let's give it a good agitate and see what happens. Okay, so giving it a good shake. I usually would mix it, but I've not got my paint mixer to hand. We'll take some paint out of the cap, and I certainly wouldn't brush paint that without thinning it. That's going to be our control. That's going to be a measure of how thick it was straight out of the pot. So I'm going to put that to one side for now, and we're going to put 1 brush load of paint in each one of these little pallets, which is actually a tablet blister pack. It's about the same amount of paint in all of them. You can't be perfect with it. So first one that we're going to do is water. So let me just get my pipettes, and that's the water one. Now it recommends a thinning ratio of 40 to 60%. So I'm going to put 1 drop in and see what I think. Actually, that's thinned really nicely. And you can see that's running quite fast down the side there. I would actually say with 1 drop, that would be all right for brush painting. You're not going to get any marks left over. Yeah, quite happy with that. Thinned with just water. Brilliant. Okay, so let's try Vallejo thinner next. And we'll just put 1 drop in. think that's probably slightly thinner than the water, but the drop from there might have been a bit bigger. But that has mixed well, which is what we're looking for. Yeah, I'm happy that Vallejo thinner works with it, so we'll put water Vallejo to the one side, as in it works okay. Let's try the MIG thinner next, and again just one drop. And see how that gets on. Right, okay. That's interesting. That's running more slowly than the other two. So one drop of MIG thinner is not thinning it quite as well. It's mixing together okay. It's staying mixed. I mean, we'll see how these two separate, but yeah, that's not running as fast, so you probably need a little bit more thinner, but actually you can see it's starting to separate already. Can you see the little lines in there? That is not mixing quite as well. So the paint is separating from the thinner much more so than the others. So I don't think that's as good. I think that's going to give you more problems. I know it's not dead scientific, but we can tell by the way it's behaving. Okay, ultimate thinner. And this thinner is generally a good all-round thinner for acrylics. That's interesting. The speed of that is pretty similar to the MIG. Let's just leave that and see how it separates. It does feel a little thicker, so again I think you're going to need a little bit more thinner to get that right. Let's see how that works. Okay, that was the ultimate thinner, wasn't it? I'm going to put that on that side. Right, I'm going to try Life Colour up here. Yeah, that's much better. That's running nice and fast. So that is very similar to the Vallejo and the water. Okay, so happy with the Life. Let's try Humbrol acrylic thinner. Yeah, that's good fast speed as well from just one drop. Happy with the Humbrol thinner. And then finally, let's try the Tamiya acrylic. Put that in the wrong one, that won't help, will it? Well, that's not even running at all. So that's the worst performing thinner for this paint. Yeah, that's hardly done anything, that. So if we take our control, which was our first one here, and see how that runs, it just sits still. And the Tamiya thinner has hardly affected that. So the three thinners that appear to need more work to get it to thin are the Tamiya Ultimate and MIG, and the ones that seem to work better was the Life Colour Vallejo Humbrol and the Standard Water. And when I look at all of these now, I would say the one that has stayed mixed the best is the first one that we mixed with water. So I think my conclusion there is you can thin it with Vallejo thinner, Life Colour thinner, Humbrol thinner, but you're probably best just using water. So now we understand that, we can start having a play with some brush painting of the paint. But that's for the next video. So I hope that was useful. Thanks for looking in. You enjoy your modelling, and I'll see you very soon.